Hello, everyone. This is Shoham from Frankfurt. I'm founder and CEO of Accelerator Frankfurt. Accelerator Frankfurt has been voted as one of the top 25 global innovation labs, mainly based on our experience and track record. Talking about the track record, our startups, 85% of them get invested, and about 55% of them get clients in the German financial industry through our network. So, not surprising, the title of my presentation today is How to Accelerate Your Business Development in Germany. Because this is what we do at Accelerator Frankfurt. We are a go-to-market program utilizing our network to the financial institutions here in Frankfurt. I'll get back a bit about my background, but shortly about our agenda today. I want to talk about why is Frankfurt really the gateway to the German financial industry, how to reach decision makers in the German financial industry, and then the importance of GDPR. And I wanted to touch on this topic because I've seen many times that this becomes a deal breaker, even if the company, the startup, has a great solution, everything goes well. Compliance usually stops it when they see deficiencies in GDPR issues. So, yeah, Frankfurt. You see a picture of Frankfurt and the surrounding area. It's a lovely city, a great airport to be in. A little bit about myself. I've been 20 years now in the financial sector, a little bit over 20 years. The first 10 years, I was actually based in Hong Kong, working for an investment bank. And during the financial crisis back in 2009 is when I moved into entrepreneurship, firstly as a business angel, investing in companies where I can add value, connect them to larger investors, and especially to the banks. So not surprisingly, the portfolio of companies that we have are mainly fintech, regulation technology. There's a few blockchain companies that we work with, and cyber security. So why Frankfurt, and why did we set up Accelerator Frankfurt? Obviously, there's financial hubs around the world. I arrived to Frankfurt about 2012 directly from Hong Kong. And I realized that if you want to actually succeed in bringing a solution, a product to a bank, you need to talk to decision makers. In Hong Kong at the time, there were a lot of foreign banks, international banks, but their head offices were not there. Excuse me. So you really need to be where the head office is. You need to be where decisions are being made. This makes London, for example, and New York excellent hubs, plenty of banks, plenty of decision making there. But obviously, London and New York were quite saturated, while back in 2012, Frankfurt was not really considered a startup ecosystem, did not have anything. So we came to Frankfurt finding our blue ocean. There were about 400 banks. There were not a lot of innovation labs or innovation managers. So we were here to bring this to the banks to filter startups on their behalfs and then help integrate it. So the good thing about Frankfurt is, as I said, decision makers are here for the major German banks. And I don't need to stress that the German economy, once you're in for good. And it's a stamp of quality where you can expand to the rest of Europe, I would say. So moving on to the next slide, how to succeed in Germany. Look, you need to, of course, find the right partner from the corporate side. We've been here now for so many years, so we always identify these hidden champions which are within the bank. And these people actually make things move. It's very important to identify these people. You need to be prepared a lot for the German culture, which actually clashes quite a bit with the Israeli culture and the Israeli way of selling. Because I'm Israeli, by the way, so we Israelis, we want to go directly to the point, no bullshit. But the Germans, while they want to do that, they're very risk averse. So they want to first make sure that everything is covered. There's minimal chance of reputation damage or loss. So very, very important to be patient and build the relationships throughout time. This is where I write, be present and have patience. Obviously, as Accelerator Frankfurt, we've been here for many years and we've built that reputation, and that helps to accelerate sales cycles within the German financial industry. One of the points there, you see digital marketing. We stress the importance of having the right communication to the clients. Normally, when I want to present a certain startup to a bank, I have a call, I have a meeting, but it's always followed up, okay, send me some material. Because the right person, this hidden champion, needs to use this material within the bank to be able to bring it further to all the stakeholders. So if you don't have the right communication tools, you're going to find it very hard to expand, especially if you have it in German. That's a big plus. And by communication tools, it could be like a one sentence that explains what you do, as opposed to 35 slides where it gets lost in translation. And believe me, the people at the banks are quite busy and they will not take the time to go through such amount of slides. So really a concise message and your communication strategy is extremely important. Corporates here in Germany want you to have track record. They want you to be reliable and trustworthy. I would say to penetrate the German market, it would be good to have existing clients already in your home market. You should have over 15 employees already, so not very early stage startups. That would not work. And this track record really helps accelerate penetrating the market. So if you're still too early stage, I would definitely not recommend to start with Germany. So our acceleration process has been usually that the startups come once a month for about 3 to 5 days for relevant meetings. Obviously now with COVID and travel restrictions, this has not been possible. So what we decided to do is to do the whole program online. Here you see a picture, for example, of one of our blockchain regulation technology startups, Valega Chain Analytics. They're presenting to 2 bankers and 2 investors. And this is what I want to highlight here, what's quite unique. The investors actually get to sit in a sales meeting. They get to see how the startup sells their product. They hear what the client is asking, and vice versa. The investors get to ask their questions in front of the client. While some people consider it, wow, this is really off limits, risky, we found it to be the best way to build trust. Not only that, we took it a step further where these online meetings were live streamed. So people could tune in and could watch the videos also on YouTube later on of these meetings. It's the only way, in my opinion, at the moment where you can't meet people face to face to build some sort of trust, some sort of relationship. having done that past May, it was a huge success. So the startups did get clients, the startups did get invested, and Accelerator Frankfurt managed to stay within its KPIs and high standards. So this is what we're doing now. We're doing an online acceleration process. But it's not only through Accelerator Frankfurt. I would recommend, if you're a startup, if you want to penetrate the German market and you have the right connections, then invite your investors to sit in your online meetings and to see it. It gives a lot of credibility for both sides, for the client side and for the investor side. So yeah, finally, the last slide about GDPR and an opportunity. It's basically an opportunity for startups. It's very important to note that if a financial institution is non-compliant with GDPR, they can get fined up to 4% of their annual turnover, or 20 million euros, whichever is greater. You need to remember that. It's not the startup that will get fined, it's the financial institution working with that company that will get fined. So it's very important that this will be your number one priority when you start negotiations on a POC, going to production with any German financial institution. I hope I don't need to explain what GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation, is. But if you are fully in control of it and you can 100% give the safety to the financial institution that you are in compliance, it'll be a huge step forward. And this is where we've seen a lot of deal breaks, basically. So take this definitely into consideration. At the end of the day, basically, with Accelerator Frankfurt, we used to, at the end of each program, our programs were 3 months, we used to host a demo day. And our demo day was not so much about presenting the startup, but really presenting about the traction that you got within the last 3 months. With who are you working? What are you doing? And as you can see in the demo day, these are bankers, basically, suits, ties. It's a very formal event. This is where it gets you to the next step to really accelerate with even more clients. I wrote here, we will be back, because unfortunately, these sort of events are not possible nowadays. They have to be done fully online. And we are doing it online. We are inviting the same people, and we are keeping up with our KPIs so far. So I hope I managed to give you some insights of penetrating the German financial market. You can certainly do it on your own if you hire the right people. Be patient. Don't expect to meet the top CEO immediately. You need to go through the process of the ladder. And we'd be happy to hear from you. Feel free to contact me, Ram at Accelerator Frankfurt, or my partner, Maria. We're available for your questions. So thank you very much for your attention, and good luck.